Okay, so get this right. Imagine AI going head to head with like the world's best coders.
Yeah.
Not in some sci-fi movie, but
Yeah.
in like real competitive programming competitions.
Yeah.
That's what we're diving into today. You shared this fascinating research paper
Yeah.
about how OpenAI has been building these crazy AI models
Yeah.
that are shaking up the competitive programming
It
world.
really is pushing the boundaries like what we thought AI could do.
Yeah.
Competitive programming, it's not just like knowing a programming language. It's
Huh.
like a mental marathon of logic puzzles and algorithms
Right.
all against the clock.
Right, it's like
Uh,
the Olympics of coding.
yeah.
Now, for anyone listening who might not be familiar with competitive programming,
Right.
think of it this way, like you're given this tricky problem, right?
Yeah.
Like finding the shortest path through a maze or optimizing like a delivery route,
Sure.
and you have to write code that solves it faster and more efficiently
Right.
than anyone else. Our mission today is to figure out how AI is tackling this challenge,
Okay.
what kind of breakthroughs OpenAI has made,
Yeah.
and what it all means for the future of like everything code related.
I mean, one thing that jumped out at me was this AI called O3
Yeah.
that's been scoring like, insanely high on CodeForces.
Yeah.
That's a platform where like
Right.
elite programmers from around the world compete.
Yeah.
And we're talking top 1%.
Wow.
Basically, this AI
Yeah.
is playing in the big leagues.
Yeah. We're going to unpack how it got there, I promise.
Yeah.
But first, let's rewind a bit.
Sure.
The research paper starts with OpenAI's O1,
Okay.
their first big AI model that could handle like super complex stuff like
Yeah.
advanced math and coding.
Yeah.
What's really cool is how O1 approaches these problems.
Yeah.
It uses what's called chain of thought reasoning,
Yeah.
which to me, it's like watching the AI think out loud.
It's a bit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like instead of just spitting out an answer,
Right.
O1 breaks down the problem step by step,
Right.
almost like a human programmer would.
Uh-huh.
And here's the kicker.
Okay.
It uses reinforcement learning
Okay.
to actually get better over time.
So is it kind of like teaching a dog new tricks?
Yeah.
You reward the dog for doing something right,
Exactly.
and eventually it figures out what you want.
Imagine you're teaching ON to play chess.
Okay.
Every time it makes a good move,
Yeah.
you give it a reward.
Uh-huh.
If it makes a bad move, no reward.
Okay.
Over time, it learns which moves lead to good outcomes
Right.
and gets better at the game.
Okay.
It's the same idea with coding.
Right.
O1 gets feedback on its solutions,
Okay.
learns from its mistakes,
Yeah.
and constantly refines its approach.
So it's not just blindly throwing code at a problem.
No.
It's actually learning and adapting as it goes.
Yeah.
The paper even mentioned that O1 can use external tools,
Yeah.
like code interpreters, to double-check its own work.
That's right. It can essentially run its own code, see if it works.
Yeah.
And even debug it if something goes wrong. Pretty impressive, right?
Seriously impressive. So to really put O1 to the test,
Uh-huh.
the researchers pitted it against other AI models and even human programmers on CodeForces.
Right.
I gotta know, how did it stack up?
Well, compared to other AI models at the time,
Okay.
O1 absolutely crushed it.
Yeah.
It blew past models like GPT-4o
Yeah.
and even its own earlier version O1 preview.
Okay. So I'm seeing that O1 preview was already in the 62nd percentile on CodeForces, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But then after more training, O1 jumps all the way to the 89th percentile.
Right.
That's like going from a decent programmer to a top-tier competitor.
It really shows you the power of that reinforcement learning.
Yeah.
The more O1 learned,
Right.
the better it got at solving those tricky competitive programming problems.
Yeah.
And then OpenAI decided to take things even further.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay.
What did they do?
They basically said, hey, let's see if we can train an AI to compete in the International Olympiad in Informatics.
Okay.
Now, the IOI
Yeah.
is like the Olympics of competitive programming.
Right.
It's where the absolute best young programmers in the world
Right.
go head to head.
So they're aiming for the top of the top?
Exactly.
Did they just throw O1 into the competition as is?
Not quite. They actually created a specialized version of O1 called O1 EOI.
Okay.
Think of it like O1 with an extra dose of coding boot camp,
Okay.
specifically designed to excel in the IOI environment.
Okay.
They fine-tuned it on a ton of coding tasks, especially in C++,
Yeah.
which is the language used at the IOI.
Right.
and they pushed it to get even better at runtime checks,
Okay.
making sure its code ran smoothly and efficiently within the competition's time limits.
Clever. So it's like they give O1 like a crash course in everything it needed to know to
Exactly.
be competitive at the IOI.
But here's the real genius.
Okay.
It's not just about the training. It's about how O1 actually tackles problems during the competition.
Okay.
They developed this intricate test time strategy that's honestly pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, break this down for me. How does this test time strategy work? It sounds like some next level AI chess moves.
It kind of is.
Okay.
First, O1 takes the problem
Okay.
and splits it up into smaller, more manageable subtasks.
Okay.
It's like tackling a big project by breaking it down into smaller steps.
Right.
Then for each subtask,
Okay.
it generates thousands of potential solutions.
Thousands.
Yeah.
Is it just randomly trying things out?
Not quite. It uses clustering
Okay.
to groups similar solutions together, kind of like organizing its thoughts.
Okay.
Then it ranks these solutions based on how well they perform on test cases, both from previous IOI competitions and ones it generates itself.
Wow. So it's learning from the best?
Exactly.
Both human and AI.
Yeah.
And then what does it just submit its top-ranked solution?
Nope. It uses a round-robin submission strategy, which means it submits its best solutions for each subtask in a specific order.
Okay.
And get this, it actually starts with the hardest subtasks first.
Wait, why would it do that?
Right.
It seems counterintuitive to start with the toughest stuff.
It's actually a really smart strategy.
Yeah.
If it nails those hard subtasks early on,
Okay.
it gets a huge advantage.
Right.
Plus, if it runs into time trouble later, it's already tackled the most challenging parts.
So it's thinking strategically,
Mhm.
prioritizing the high-value targets.
Yeah.
This AI is playing 4D chess,
Right.
while everyone else is stuck in checkers.
You got it. And the results speak for themselves. On CodeForces,
Okay.
O1, OA, jumped to the 98th percentile,
Wow.
even higher than the original O1.
Sure.
It's basically a programming prodigy at this point.
Okay, so this brings us to the main event,
Okay.
the actual IOI 2024 competition.
Yeah.
Did they actually let an AI compete against human Olympians?
They did. And remember, these are the best young programmers from around the world.
Yeah,
The pressure is immense.
I can only imagine.
The problems are incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And the competition is fierce.
So how did O1 IOA fare in this ultimate coding showdown?
Well, under the same strict rules and time limits
Yeah.
as the human participants,
Yeah.
O1 IOA achieved a score that placed it in the 49th percentile.
Hold on. You're telling me an AI went up against the best human coders on the planet
I know.
and placed in the top half?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It really is a testament to how far AI has come.
Yeah.
But here's the truly mind-blowing part.
Okay.
When they relaxed the submission limits,
Okay.
allowing O1 IOA to submit thousands of solutions,
Yeah.
its score skyrocketed,
Wow.
exceeding even the threshold for a gold medal.
So given enough tries,
Right.
this AI could be an IOI gold medalist.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
It does.
It's like those movies where the robots start outplaying humans at their own games.
Right.
But this is actually happening in real life.
It definitely raises some interesting questions about the future of competitive programming and the role of AI in coding. But OpenAI didn't stop there.
Of course not.
They went on to develop O3, the
Right.
next generation of these reasoning models.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really wild.
Okay. You mentioned O3 scoring in the top 1% on CodeForces, right?
I did.
Tell me everything.
All right.
How did it get so good?
What's fascinating about O3 is that it actually learns to develop its own test time strategies.
Oh,
Remember all those clever techniques we talked about with O1 IOA?
yeah.
The breaking down problems,
Yeah.
the clustering, the round-robin submissions.
Right.
Well, O3 can figure those things out on its own.
Wait, hold on. The AI is learning to strategize like a top-level programmer
Yeah.
without any explicit instructions.
It's like it's teaching itself to think like a coding grandmaster.
This is a huge leap forward in AI's ability to not just solve problems,
Right.
but to figure out the best way to approach them,
Ah.
just like a human expert would.
Exactly. And the results are nothing short of incredible. On CodeForces O3, pushed its rating all the way to the 99.8th percentile.
Wow.
1%, just like you said.
Yeah.
That's putting it in the same league as the absolute best competitive programmers in the world.
What kind of strategies did it come up with?
Well, one that really stood out to me was O3 actually writing simple brute force solutions
Okay.
to double check the outputs of its more optimized algorithms.
Wow.
It's almost like it's saying, hold on, let me make absolutely sure this is right
Right?
by comparing it to a simpler approach.
Right.
That level of self-validation is astounding.
It's like it understands the importance of being thorough and accurate,
Right.
just like a seasoned programmer would.
Exactly.
It's not just about finding a solution, it's about finding the right solution and being confident in it.
And on the IOI 2024 benchmark, O3, achieved a gold medal score with only 50 submissions,
Wow.
even without those special human design strategies
Right.
that O1IOI needed.
So it's even more efficient and effective than its predecessor, which was already mind-blowingly good.
I know, right?
This O3 is clearly something special.
Yeah.
It's learned to think strategically,
Uh-huh.
adapt its approach, and even double-check its own work
Yeah.
all on its own.
It really makes you wonder what the limits of AI are, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you can master something as complex as competitive programming,
Yeah,
what else could it potentially achieve?
that's a great question, and one we'll definitely be exploring further.
Yeah.
But before we get too ahead of ourselves, I want to make sure we connect this back to the real world.
You're right. Competitive programming is a fantastic test bed for AI.
Yeah.
But how do these advancements actually translate to the messy, complex world of real-world coding?
Right.
That's what we'll dive into next.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time we were talking about these amazing AI models that are basically becoming coding grandmasters,
Yeah.
taking on the best human programmers and honestly giving them a run for their money. It's mind-blowing stuff.
It really is remarkable to see how AI is pushing the boundaries of what's possible, in the world of coding. But as we delve deeper into this,
Yeah.
it's worth taking a step back
Yeah.
and considering the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's not just about AI winning coding competition.
Right.
It's about understanding how these advancements might change, like the way we develop software,
Yeah.
kinds of jobs we'll have in the future,
Right.
and maybe even what it means to be a programmer.
So one thing that often comes up
Yeah.
is how AI might change the software development process itself.
Right.
We've seen that AI models like O3
Yeah.
can generate incredibly complex and efficient code,
Right.
even coming up with their own clever strategies to solve problems.
Right.
So what happens when this technology becomes more widely available?
Yeah, I'm thinking about like all those late nights I've spent like
Yeah.
hunting down bugs or trying to optimize a piece of code.
Mm-hmm.
Could AI actually make those tasks easier for programmers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One area where AI could have a huge impact
Yeah.
is in code generation.
Okay.
Imagine a future where instead of writing every line of code manually,
Right.
programmers can provide high-level specifications to an AI system,
Okay.
and it generates the entire application for them.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah,
It would be like having an AI assistant that takes care of all the tedious, repetitive tasks,
right.
freeing up programmers to focus on the more creative and strategic aspects.
Exactly. It would be a massive shift in the way we build software.
Yeah.
And it's not just about generating new code.
Okay.
AI could also play a crucial role in maintaining and improving existing code bases.
Right.
Imagine an AI system that can automatically identify and fix bugs,
Okay.
optimize code for performance,
Right.
and even suggest improvements based on best practices.
So it's like having an AI code reviewer
Yeah.
that's always on hand, catching errors and making suggestions to improve your work.
Precisely.
Wow.
And as these AI models get even smarter,
Yeah.
they could even start predicting potential issues before they even occur,
Wow.
leading to more robust and reliable software.
That would be a game changer.
Yeah.
It would mean fewer bugs, more stable software,
Right.
and ultimately a better experience for users.
Exactly. And this brings us to another exciting area, software testing.
Okay.
AI has the potential to revolutionize the way we test software,
Yeah.
making it faster, more thorough,
Yeah.
and more efficient.
Yeah, testing is such a crucial part of software development.
Right.
But it can also be incredibly time-consuming and tedious.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to hand that over to an AI.
I think a lot of programmers would agree with you there.
Yeah.
AI systems could automate the entire testing process,
Right.
running millions of tests in a fraction of the time it would take a human.
Wow.
They could even analyze the results of those tests,
Okay.
identify patterns,
Right.
and flag potential issues that might otherwise go unnoticed.
It's like having an army of tireless, super efficient testers at your disposal. That would free up human testers to focus on the more complex and nuanced aspects of testing,
Right.
like user experience and edge cases.
Right. It would be a powerful synergy
Yeah.
between human and artificial intelligence each playing to their strengths.
Yeah.
And, all of these advancements raise an interesting question.
Okay.
How will the role of the programmer evolve
Right.
as AI becomes more integrated into software development?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Some people worry that AI will eventually replace programmers altogether,
Right.
but I think it's more likely that AI will augment human capabilities,
Yeah.
making programmers even more effective at what they do.
I agree. Instead of seeing AI as a threat,
Right.
we should see it as a powerful tool that can amplify our own abilities.
Right.
Programmers might become more like architects or conductors,
Well,
designing high-level systems and guiding AI systems to generate and optimize the code.
so it's not about AI taking over.
Right.
It's about collaboration of humans and AI working together to create even more amazing software than we ever could alone.
It's about leveraging the strengths of both human and artificial intelligence
I love that.
to unlock new possibilities and push the boundaries of what's possible in the world of software.
It's a more optimistic view of the future,
Right.
one where AI empowers us rather than replaces us.
But it's important to remember that AI is still a relatively new technology,
Right.
and there are a lot of challenges we need to address
Yeah.
as it becomes more prevalent in software development.
Okay, let's talk about those challenges.
Okay.
What are some of the things we need to be thinking about as we integrate AI more deeply
Right.
into the software development process?
Well, one of the most important things is security.
Okay.
As AI systems become more sophisticated,
Right.
they also become more attractive targets for malicious actors.
So we need to make sure that these AI-powered systems are secure and protected from attacks,
Absolutely.
just like any other critical software.
Hackers are always looking for new vulnerabilities to exploit. And AI systems are no exception.
Right.
We need to develop robust security measures to prevent malicious code injection,
Okay.
data breaches, and other potential threats.
That makes sense. We're essentially entrusting a lot of power to these AI systems, so we need to make sure they're safe and reliable.
Exactly. And another important consideration is intellectual property.
Okay.
If an AI system generates code, who owns the rights to that code?
That's a good question.
Is it the AI developer,
Yeah,
the programmer who used the AI tool, or someone else entirely?
that's a really tricky question. It's like a whole new legal frontier that we're just starting to explore.
Right. The laws surrounding intellectual property are still evolving.
Yeah.
And it's not entirely clear how they apply to AI-generated code.
Right.
We need clear legal frameworks to govern the ownership and use of AI-generated code
Yeah.
to avoid potential disputes and ensure fair compensation for all parties involved.
It's a complex issue,
Yeah.
but it's something we need to figure out as AI becomes more integrated into the software development process.
Absolutely. And, one final thought I'd like to leave you with
Okay.
is that we need to be mindful of the potential impact of AI on the diversity and inclusivity of the tech industry.
That's a really important point.
Mhm.
We need to make sure that AI development and its applications benefit everyone, not
Exactly.
just a select few.
We need to ensure that the data sets used to train these AI models
Yeah.
are diverse and representative of the populations they will be used to serve.
Right.
And we need to be aware of the potential for bias in AI systems
Right.
and take steps to mitigate it.
It's about using AI to create a more equitable and inclusive tech industry,
Yeah.
one that reflects the diversity of the world we live in.
Well said. These are just a few of the challenges and opportunities we need to consider
Right.
as AI continues to transform the world of software development. It's a journey full of possibilities,
Yeah.
but it's one we need to navigate carefully and thoughtfully.
This has been an incredibly insightful conversation.
It has.
We've covered so much ground, from the technical marvels of AI coding
Yeah.
to the potential impact on the software development process,
Right.
the challenges we need to address.
Yeah.
But there's one more big question I think we need to grapple with.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
All of these advancements in AI,
Yeah.
they really make you wonder, what does it actually mean for a machine to be intelligent?
Exactly. We've seen AI models outperform humans in complex coding competitions.
Right.
But does that necessarily mean they're truly intelligent in the same way that humans are?
Right.
It's a question that takes us beyond the technical and into the philosophical realm.
It's a question that has captivated philosophers and scientists for centuries.
Yeah.
And as AI continues to evolve at an astonishing pace,
Right.
it's a question that's becoming increasingly relevant and urgent.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's been quite a journey so far.
It has.
We've seen AI rise to the top of the competitive programming world. We've explored how it could like revolutionize software development.
Yeah.
And we've even touched upon like some of the big challenges we need to consider
Yeah.
as AI becomes more powerful.
It's amazing to think how far we've come, from AI struggling with simple tasks
Right.
to now like outperforming humans
Yeah.
in some of the most intellectually demanding areas.
And that leads us to what I think is like the biggest question of all.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean for AI to be intelligent?
Right.
We've been throwing that word around a lot,
Uh-huh.
but I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
What does intelligence actually mean
Yeah.
in the context of AI?
It's a question that has fascinated thinkers for centuries.
Right.
Even defining human intelligence is a challenge.
Right.
Some might say it's the ability to learn and solve problems,
Yeah.
while others might emphasize creativity, adaptability, or even emotional intelligence.
So depending on how you define intelligence,
Yeah.
the answer to whether AI is truly intelligent could be different. Exactly.
If we focus purely on problem-solving abilities,
Okay.
then AI systems like O3 are clearly demonstrating a high level of intelligence.
Yeah.
They can analyze complex data, learn from their mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and come up with solutions that even experienced human programmers might miss.
But what about those other aspects of intelligence?
Right.
The creativity,
Yeah.
the intuition,
Yeah.
the ability to understand and respond to emotions.
Uh-huh.
Do you think AI can ever achieve those things?
That's where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
Current AI systems are still primarily data-driven.
Okay.
They excel at pattern recognition,
Yeah.
optimization, and logical reasoning.
Right.
But when it comes to things like emotional intelligence
Yeah.
or truly original creative thought,
Right.
there's still a gap between AI and human capabilities.
I see what you mean. It's like an AI might be able to compose like a catchy tune by
Yeah.
analyzing thousands of popular songs.
Right.
But can it create music that expresses like a deep personal emotion? The way that a human composer can?
It is.
That's a whole other level.
And it's one of the reasons why I believe human intelligence is still incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
Even in a world where AI is becoming increasingly capable.
Right.
We bring that unique blend of logic, emotion, and intuition to the table.
Yeah.
And that's something that's hard to replicate in machine.
I think that's a really important point. It's not about like AI versus humans. It's
Right.
about how we can leverage the strengths of both to achieve incredible things.
Exactly.
Like imagine a team of human programmers and AI systems working together,
Yeah.
each bringing their unique skills to the table.
Mhm.
The possibilities are endless.
I completely agree. And, all this discussion about AI and intelligence
Yeah.
makes me think about the nature of consciousness, too.
Right.
It's a concept that we still don't fully understand,
Yeah.
even in humans.
Consciousness is a real head scratcher,
It is.
but it's fascinating to consider whether AI could ever achieve something resembling consciousness.
Yeah.
Would that fundamentally change our relationship with technology?
It's a question that's both intriguing and a little bit unsettling, right?
Right.
Currently, there's no evidence to suggest that AI systems are conscious.
Okay.
They don't have subjective experiences or self-awareness in the way that we do.
But if AI keeps evolving at this rate,
Right.
who knows what the future holds? It's like we're entering uncharted territory.
Yeah.
And that's both exciting and a little daunting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to approach these advancements with a sense of wonder and curiosity,
Yeah.
but also with caution and responsibility.
Right.
AI has the potential to transform our world in profound ways.
Right.
And it's up to us to ensure that those transformations are positive ones.
That's a great point to end on. This deep dive has been a wild ride.
It has.
We started by exploring how AI is conquering competitive programming.
Right.
And we ended up pondering the nature of intelligence and consciousness itself.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how powerful these technologies are, not just in like a practical sense,
Right.
but in their ability to make us question our own assumptions about the world.
It's been a pleasure discussing all this with you.
Likewise.
I think the key takeaway is that AI is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's up to us as a society
Yeah.
to guide its development and ensure that it's used ethically and responsibly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
And to our listener out there, we
Yeah.
hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and given you plenty to think about.
Right.
The world of AI is constantly evolving, and the future is full of possibilities.
It is.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
The journey is just beginning.
It is.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of the Deep Dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep those minds curious.